Hello, today is Monday, August 17th, 2026. In today's video, we're just going to take a look again at the Day Trading GPS Ribbon V3.0 indicator and why the resets are so important, especially on indexes such as the SPX index. So the Day Trading GPS Ribbon V3.0 indicator has multi-session resets for different type of assets and market types. First of all, for U.S. indexes like the SPX, the XSP, the NASDAQ index, the Dow Jones index, the Russell 2000 index, etc. It also has several different resets for stocks and ETFs on U.S. markets, as well as U.S. equity futures markets such as NQ, NASDAQ futures, and the S&P 500 futures, Dow Jones futures, Russell 2000 futures, etc. And also forex currency pairs, and also special resets for global markets if you happen to trade uh, stocks or indexes in other global markets such as European markets, Asian markets, India markets, etc. Okay, so if we go into the indicator, here we'll see there's different asset types here as far as what resets are available. First off, U.S. indexes, followed by U.S. stocks and ETFs, U.S. equity index futures, other major futures which have different RTH sessions, and then forex currency pairs, and then we have the custom ones here, which can be used in several different ways if you want to do a special, even if it is in the U.S. market, a special time for a reset for a specific purpose of your own trading process, or more commonly, these are used for global markets as a auto time zone and daylight saving time uh, aspect to it. So here, as an example here in the tooltip, pick your markets region. For example, Mumbai, India, London, Tokyo. Reset follows that market's local clock automatically, including daylight saving. No twice a year adjustment needed. Only choose a fixed UTC offset if you want the reset pinned to the exact UTC time year round. Now, as far as the SPX market, today is another example of why the resets can be important. Today we had a gap up scenario. Right now we're showing it with the reset on. If we go ahead and turn the reset off, then you'll see this is what normally it would look like. So here is the previous close here. We have a for today kind of a lower medium type of gap up, so not a severe gap up today, but as you can see, you get this hangover effect here where initially what you're seeing an all green ribbon, and there is a sharp reversal right off the bat. So you're getting a conflicting signal here, and you're also getting the wrong signal here, which is basically an all green ribbon. This particular candle closed right above today's bull bear key price level. So if we bring this out where we can see it a little closer, it may be a little hard to see here. It did close slightly above it, even though it was a red candle. Now, if we go ahead and turn the reset on, then as you can see, right off the bat, you're seeing the bearish momentum. And so you can jump into this trade, bearish close underneath the bull bear key price level. And so far we've had a nice move down, at least for a scalp trade to begin with, down to S1. Now we're a little bit below S1. Mid S1, S2 is about down in this area here. So it looks like it may, in fact, reach that if it continues to zigzag and stair step down. We'll just have to see how today goes. Now, you can see this line here. So this is the 9:30 reset, this faint yellow line here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the previous sessions. Now, as you can see here, we did in this one, you're getting more of an indecision here at the beginning, and then you're finally getting the drop off here. Here we have a gap up, but as you can see, we have the reset on, and we're seeing continuing spiking momentum up right off the get-go. Here's another example of an extreme gap up. So this is a gap up. The close before that is around 77.28, and then we're opening up here around 77.62. So this is a fairly decent sized gap up here. But again, we have a reversal right off the bat. Now these levels here are not for this session. This is still for today's session, the 17th, and this is back on Wednesday the 12th. So don't pay attention to these other levels here. Just pay mostly attention to the reversal that's happening because we have the reset on. Now, if we go ahead and turn the reset off, as you can see here, you're not really getting the full picture here. So what you're seeing is basically an all green ribbon with pullbacks, and eventually we do get an all red ribbon here. Versus if you have the reset on, then you're seeing bearish momentum right off the bat. And as you can see here, we sold all the way from 75.65 all the way down here to about 77.37 or so. Same thing here in this session. We have a gap up and a reversal, and then we have a continuation later in the day. So if we turn that off, you're not really getting the full picture. Now, compared to free ribbons on TradingView, we have Annie's ribbon here. He's saying basically these ribbons work fine primarily in continuous markets such as cryptocurrencies, but they suffer from the same hangover effect. So here's Annie's ribbon. This is a free ribbon indicator on TradingView, and then the Madrid ribbon is also a free ribbon on TradingView, and this has the same problem as well when you're dealing especially with something like SPX. So we turn that back on. We'll go ahead and turn the reset on. Now we'll look at some other sessions. Here's one here, kind of indecision at the beginning. One thing you have to keep in mind with this ribbon indicator is that you can look at it both ways. If you want to do a split screen where you have a single monitor, one side with the reset filter off and one side with the reset filter on, then you can see it from both perspectives. If you prefer to wait until both of them align with each other before taking an entry. So that's another option that you have with this ribbon indicator that you're not going to have with the free ones, other than if you, instead of just using it on a single reset, you can look at it at a dual perspective, whether you want to put one on one monitor, one on another monitor, or both on a split screen on a single monitor. Here as well, you're seeing some indecision right off the bat, and then eventually move back down. But again, if you have the filter off, then this is what you're really seeing here. So you're not really going to see the reversal move. Here we have a gap down day, and then we had reversal back up. Again, if you have no filter on, then this is what you're seeing instead. Same thing with these free ones. Now here again, gap up. Eventually, starting around 10:30 or so, we're getting a very sharp reversal down. This was about 60 to 65 points here. If you don't have the reset on, then this is what you're seeing instead. You're eventually seeing the reversal, you're just seeing it much later, and then your opportunity for profit is a lot less, points-wise. And here's some examples of gap ups with continuations. So here, as an example, if we turn this off, we'll look at just Annie's ribbon, the free ribbon on. And you're saying, this is fine because it's a continuation of what's happening. However, if you're utilizing even with the reset here, you're seeing the continuation happen in a clearer way here for resetting at the start of the session. Same thing here in this session. This is a gap up. We have the reset on. And as you can see, there's strong momentum right off the bat, validating this gap up. Now, this is kind of an interesting one here. We have a gap up, and then we have a sharp reversal thereafter. If you don't have the reset on, we'll go ahead and just look at one of the free indicators here. You're eventually seeing it, but you're not really getting an all red ribbon until down here. And again, your the amount of profit that you are potentially going to be able to get is going to be a lot less because your entry is going to be more like down here. And you might be falsely inclined to just think this is a pullback on an all green ribbon here and that you should just stay in this trade. And that's part of the problem with these free indicators just having no reset whatsoever, is that you can really get caught, especially on these reversals. Versus here, you're seeing the clear reversal here, and then you have all this profit opportunity here. Now here we're getting a reversal right off the bat, but then we're getting a move back up above that. Here we'll just take a look at it without the filter on. And as you can see here, you're not really seeing this reversal right off the bat. So you could take advantage of this small reversal move here and then still jump in here on this move back above with the all green ribbon here. Then of course you're getting an all red ribbon here for a move down, and then eventually an all green ribbon here for another move back up. Looking at it with the filter off, again, the advantage of this this particular ribbon is the one big advantage is the ability to see it both ways, and being able to use it on a dual screen or two separate monitors if you have multiple monitors, because that can be very useful as well. It doesn't mean that you have to use dual confirmation. It just means that you can look at it from the two different perspectives rather than just one singular perspective of no filter reset. Here we have a gap down, small move up, but then a continuation. Here we have another example of, even though this did have very much indecision here, and this obviously was a push up with an all green ribbon here. So this would have gotten stopped out. However, you still had plenty of opportunity here to get in after a stop out on a move back down, versus if you're just using the free indicators, you're not really seeing the bearish opportunity till right here. Now here's a gap down. You had a sharp reversal move here. This was good for about 30 points or so here. And then you're eventually getting the sell-off here. And again, this just shows you the reversal move versus here. You're seeing an all red ribbon here. However, if you're taking this entry here based on that at the beginning, remember you're getting a move all the way from about 74.18, 74.15, all the way up to 74.50. So you're getting stopped out on this bearish move if you're just going to go with no reset, versus if you have the reset, then you're seeing the bullish move right off the bat, and you're still getting an opportunity here. Here where you have all these multicolors, that's no trade at all. And eventually you're getting an all red ribbon here for a move down, and then eventually small move up on this green ribbon here.